Good morning. I'm Sam. If you're just joining me for the first time, this is video number 14, and this is juice number 15. And when I say juice number 15, it means 15 in all my life. I've juiced 15 times. So, and that would be in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm digging it. And I did just roll out of bed. Sorry for the man voice and the lack of getting ready, but that's kind of the gig here on this show, which we did inadvertently name Juice On. So welcome to the show, Juice On. All right, the last episode, which was video 14, I was out of town, so it was a field trip. I was juicing on the road because I had to do a wedding out in Ventura. So we named that one Have Juicer Will Travel. And what you probably noticed is that I kept saying that incorrectly. I kept saying have juice will travel, but really the whole point was have juicer will travel. So, you know, I'm dumb sometimes. You know, camera freaks me out. Not really. Here's today's agenda. We do have one viewer question that I want to address, and then I'm going to juice a mean green and give some of the juicing on the road highlights that I learned from this last weekend. Okay, so I'm just going to get to business. The first viewer question, thank you for viewing, is from Mary Tamara and her daughter. And they're really funny also. I know you've been hearing about them, but you've never actually met them so far. But she was asking me, she goes, okay, we were looking and we were watching, and I'm holding my arm up so I can show you. And she said, okay, what's going on your arm? Do you have a second elbow or something? What she's referring to is this right here. And she goes, what is that? A cyst, a tumor, a second elbow? What's going on? Which, of course, I was dying laughing that she even said the phrase second elbow. Does that exist? Do people have second elbows? That was new to me, so I'd like to hear more about that if that's true. And I didn't Google it, so I'm going to need someone to tell me. But no, very observant, Mary Tamara, and maybe some others of you have noticed that too and are wondering the same. It's actually, well, here's what happened. Because I've been fat for a lot of my life, I never knew I had this, but this has actually always been here. And when I lose weight, it emerges, you know, like a beautiful flower or something. This is a bone spur because I did have a doctor check it out because I had lost a lot of weight and was like, what's going on? Do I have a second elbow, I guess? I didn't ask that because I didn't know that was a possibility. Anyway, the doctor said, no, it's just a bone spur, or I don't even know what a bone spur is, but he said you can have it shaved off if you want to, but it doesn't pose any harm or danger. So, yeah, it's weird. And I don't have one on the other one. The next interesting thing that Tammy said, or Mary Tamara said, was, have you noticed it changing size since juicing, meaning going down and getting smaller? No. Well, I didn't know to pay attention. And we were talking about it, and she said, oh yeah, it may go away. Juicing may, she said a certain component in the stuff that I'm using helps with scar tissue, and that maybe it'll do something with that. And so we both were kind of like, let's see, who knows? Or maybe it will get bigger. I don't know. But I can't detect any difference in size since I started juicing, but I really wasn't paying attention. Anyway, thank you, Mary Tamara, for the astute observation of my bodily imperfections. That's kind of fun and amazing with such poor video quality that you even noticed that. So good job to you. I'm pretty tired. Whew, I'm tired. All right, moving on. I'm gonna juice a mean green. I'm gonna modify it as usual, and while I'm juicing it, I'm going to give you highlights that I learned from juicing on the road, because there are some that were helpful tips. And then I want to talk about the episode frequency. I got some feedback from some viewers, and now I have more questions about what I should do. So let's get started. Again, if you're just joining us, the mean green recipe is on the jointhereboot.com website, which is a website from Joe Cross. And Joe Cross made the documentary Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. So, and if you haven't seen it, and you have even a remote wonder about juicing, you should watch that movie. It was really helpful. Okay. Again, today you might see I have a mat underneath the juicer, which last time moved the entire juicer. We'll see what happens today. Okay, cucumber. And for those of you who need a refresher or just starting, you always start your machine on low. And you juice everything that needs to be on low first. Okay. All right, some highlights from juicing on the road. So I kind of think that everything in life can be fun, even if it's a drag, if you have the right equipment and the right tools. So the juicing on the road was truly an experiment to see if it's worth it. And it was. What I did was I got all the ingredients that I need for a mean green or whatever I wanted to use, and I cut them all in advance, which isn't the best to do in juicing, but it was only like 24 hours in advance. And I put them all in different Ziploc bags, and then I put it was 2-gallon bags I ended up with, put them all together. Man, that parsley odor is so strong. So in yesterday's video, I identified it kind of smells like paint thinner, and Holly identified that it smells like cut grass, and I'd agree with both of us. So I had all of my ingredients in Ziploc bags. This is kale. What I just put in was parsley and lemon. Anyway, for juicing on the road, I had it all in Ziploc bags, and then I had a cooler that I took with me to the hotel and tried to make sure that all that stuff stayed cool. And then we ordered a hotel room that had a refrigerator. That was kind of a priority. Even a priority over the ocean room view, or ocean view room. See, I'm tired. So what I thought would be awesome was to make sure that I could refrigerate everything I brought, and everything I brought was already prepped and ready to go. I didn't need a knife. Everything was even already peeled for me. That literally, I wanted to remove all the obstacles possible to prevent me from juicing in a hotel room. And that seemed to really work out. What I did notice is, hang on one second, I have something in my eye. What I noticed about that whole experience and my prep work and all that was juicing on the road, have juicer will travel. Even though I don't have my own kids, I have a lot of friends with kids, and I've traveled a lot with kids. Traveling with the juicer is a lot like having a kid in this regard. You have to take a lot of equipment with you, and that while that's completely annoying, much like kids having to take a pack and play and a car seat and blah, 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 all that, it was totally worth it. And usually kids are totally worth it too. So it was great. I did a juice in the morning. It yielded a lot, and it lasted me I juiced at like 8:45 in the morning, and it lasted until 1:30. I drank it in segments throughout the day, and it was great. You know, saving money. I'm healthier. We didn't go out to eat. It was awesome. Okay, with the kale, sometimes I have to push down a little hard, which you probably noticed if you're watching the videos. But I do a lot of repetition in case this is your first video. Okay. Whoa, it's moving. All right. I just had a little bit more kale, and then it's going to go on high, which will be very loud. Well, not that loud. It's not that bad. Okay, so I used less kale in that shoot, and I think it certainly went faster, but I'm wondering if it got chewed up more and it didn't get juiced as much because it kind of flew through here very rapidly. Okay, I'm going to put it on high, and then I'm going to talk about the feedback on how many episodes I should do a week. Okay, so I put it on high. I'm doing 1.5 apples and ginger root, and then cucumber. Again, check jointhereboot.com for the mean green recipe. So a lot of you gave me feedback, thank you, which I appreciate, about that was fast. How often should I be doing a show on YouTube? And I suggested once a week. Actually, Mary Tamara suggested once a week. And several of you agreed with once a week, which is great. It's good to know. So my question is, if I do it once a week, I think I should do segments that are the same every week. What do you think? Things like, okay, I'll try a viewer recipe. I'll explain my t-shirt. Maybe tips and tricks that I learned from the week, and then maybe a guest, and it would kind of be like a full show, like a half-hour show. But I don't know what you like and don't like. I know what I do. I like anything that seems like a Saturday Night Live skit, but I want to also make it valuable for people who are, you know, into juicing. So I'd love some feedback. If I do it once a week, what I keep thinking of the Ellen DeGeneres show. She always, I mean, I don't watch her that much anymore, but she always had, you know, like these recurring segments that were so funny. But I want to know what you think in regards to juicing and what would be included in that, what I should include in that. You know, so I'm open. Okay, I'm going to stir it up and see how much this yielded. Again, this is my version of a Mean Green Modified, which is not too far off Joe Cross's. All right, this made just over 30 ounces. And you can see there's just a tiny bit of froth. So this is good. This will last me, it'll be breakfast and then probably lunch. What I am finding, and you should probably be aware of this, is that, whoa, my hair looks awesome today. I haven't even looked at the camera yet. Wow, thanks for watching me. Sorry. What I've been finding is that sometimes I like to just do all or nothing. And that's because I'm lazy, and I feel like I've made that kind of clear. So a lot of times I just want to drink all the juice for the day and be done and just move on with my life and not think about it again. But what I'm finding is when I have higher yields, like when I drink over probably 25 or 30 ounces, that my stomach is real gurgly for the morning, and it's just kind of like I'm unsure what's going to be happening and if there's going to be a different version of a Mean Green coming my way. So I think I've committed to myself now that I'm only going to drink 20 ounces at a time, which I think is still a lot. I think because it's so many nutrients kind of like fire hosing your system at once. So, but that's my thing now, is I think I'm just going to do 20 ounces. And this cup that I always use is 20 ounces. So if I just drink this and then refill it with the overage and store it for the day, it's fine. Okay, so let me try it. So sorry, I'm having trouble multitasking this morning. And also the flavor's been changing. Last time the flavor was kind of something I had hilarity in describing, and I ended up with Halloween night when I was a kid. It tastes like that. I don't know what that means, but okay. So let's try this. We're back to chow mein. Chow mein was the front flavor, the first flavor, not the aftertaste. The aftertaste is the aftertaste is quite pleasant. I don't know how to describe it. That's mostly because I'm exhausted. One of the things about video 13's juicing that I kind of figured out later, and I guess I just couldn't get the words, is that recipe, which had a lot of parsley in it, and I had added more apple, but it kind of tasted like this weird, and don't freak out when I say this, and don't be deterred from juicing if you are new, but it kind of tasted the way a tire shop smells, like that really clean, except rubber-based smell. That was also included in yesterday's, not today's. This is definitely chow mein, and I'm starting to think there's something in my chemical makeup in my mouth. What is that, pH? I don't know what any of that is, but I'm starting to think that it's me and my taste buds interacting with this tastes like chow mein. Unfortunately, I have no one else here to try it, to test my theory, but if I have another guest sometime, maybe I'll do that. Anyway, that's what's happening on that. So I would love your feedback on what should be included in a weekly episode. What types of segments or what types of things would you want to hear or not want to hear about? I'm open to all of that. I also realized that yesterday I forgot to explain where my shirt was from, the one with the flames on the arm. And that was, I was a resident director at a college, and every year our dorm did a t-shirt, and that was my first year. And the S stood for Swayze, which was the dorm that I oversaw. and the flames were representing how our God is a consuming fire. And it was not intended to look like a Harley Davidson replication in any way. Today's shirt is, this was a fundraiser shirt for one of the missions teams at Masters a long, long time ago. A friend of mine one time looked at me and said, "Is that really a double XL?" No, it's not really a double XL, and we didn't really have a rugby team. That was kind of the joke. So anyway, thank you so much for joining us, and by us I mean me. There's no one else here, and I would love to encourage you, so I will. Juice on. Genuinely, juice on. It's good for you, and it's fun, and it's like a Saturday Night Live skit. Have a great day while you're juicing on.